Hey everybody, so in today's video I'm going to talk about how to sell scrap gold, and there are some basic important informations that you want to make sure you kind of do your homework on if you're going to sell some gold. There's kind of two ways to do it, and one is just like individually, personally. You might have like some family inheritance or just some gold that you bought one time and you need to sell it. And the other way is like if you're doing it as a business, more like I do, you might be receiving a little bit of gold every month, and then either selling it or processing it or something. So I want to cover kind of both of those topics. The first thing you need to know is that the more you know about what you have, the 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 less likely it is that somebody will um, steal your gold or not give you a fair price. So what I mean is, for example, let's say you have a 10-carat ring, and it's gold. It's about 41% gold. But you take it into a pawn shop, and then they're like, "Hey, I'll give you like $10 for it," and it's really worth $40. So obviously they're not even giving you half of the value. If you figured out and did the math, you know that they weren't being very, uh, they weren't giving you a fair deal. Is what I would consider it. And so, if you know how many grams it is, that's better. If you know what carat value it is, it tells you what percentage gold should be contained in the object. And between those two things, you can look up on Google basically, how much is there. Now, when you sell it, you should expect to share some with the buyer. Um, get, and depending on the amount you have, the more you have, basically, the less that you'll probably end up sharing. But as long as you know about how much you have and you have a good expectation of your buyer, that will help you negotiate that area. Okay, so if you're doing like business to business interactions, then you might find, you might go online and like find a list of people, or you might find me like, this Sam guy, maybe he can, do it. Intermountain Gold Refiners, and so what I suggest is if you're going to be dealing in a lot of gold, like let's say you've just started buying it, you figured out your local regulations and everything, you're buying gold, and you're like, okay, I've got to haul this gold, I ran out of cash, so now I need to sell it to somebody, and you're stuck. Okay, then you might find a bunch of people that you could sell it to, and so you might find somebody and you're like, okay, I want to try this wholesaler out. They're offering to buy my gold at a good deal that I like, feel confident with them, but I don't know them. Okay, so what you might do is you might not get as much for a small amount of gold, but it's better to test them out, figure out how much you exactly have, send it to them, and see how much they actually pay for it. And then you maybe have your 90%, a lot more. If they do a good deal with you, if they do good business, then you can, amp it up a little bit. Send more at a time through the mail or whatever. Speaking of mail, one time my dad sent a gold bar through the mail, and it was, it was about this big, and it was several ounces. It was like $10,000 worth. And he sent it in a little tiny box, and it disappeared. Now, fortunately, through the U.S. Postal Service, you can insure a package for an amount, and you can pay a fee. Sometimes it's $30 or $60 to insure and register your package, so it has to be signed for. See, if you register a package, they have to sign for it, and if you insure it, you can pick different amounts, and they'll sell you the insurance. And so he had insured it, and they weren't going to pay it. The post office was like, no, we're not going to do that. And then we had to write our governor of the state of Utah, like, hey, the post office isn't going to pay the insurance for this lost gold bar. Anyway, it was a big hassle, took a long time. We did get most of the money back, but just be forewarned, there is kind of an expense to sending things through the mail, and it can be a little bit dangerous. So a few tips for sending through the mail while we're on the topic. It's good to send it in a big box so it can't be easily like pocketed in a coat or something. And it's good to send it registered so every person has to sign and be somebody's all responsible all the way along the chain. Now, if you're doing small amounts, you can just insure the package and just send it. And when I say small amounts, anywhere between like probably $100 to $1,000, and you could just insure it for an amount and send it. But if you're doing more than $1,000 worth of gold, I would recommend that it starts to become worth insuring. And you'll spend a couple percentage of what you have in the gold on insuring it and shipping it. So, you know, expect to pay $40 or $50 in mail. There might be some other parcel services that you can get involved with that will, you know, do other deals, but that's the one that I know. All right. Lastly, if you want to, like, if you guys know me from my videos and stuff, and you want to sell me scrap gold, you can do that. I am reachable on Twitter at AmmonDN, or also on Facebook you can message me, or I think even YouTube now you could message me at Intermountain Gold Refiners. So if you need more details, I'll put eventually I'll put some more specific instructions about packaging and sending gold to me in the mail so that you can set up a package and write out what you're sending me. One last note, there's a bunch of chemistry videos out there on the internet, and there's people trying to do chemistry to get gold out of dirt. I don't blame them, but I just know that it's very difficult. A lot of people brought me like a box of dirt, and they're like, there's gold in here, or it's gold, and it's dirt. Okay, and so probably, at least until further notice, I'm only receiving metallic objects so that I can sort through and figure out what's gold and what's not. And dirt is just not really worth my time right now. I don't have the skill set or the tools to even deal with it. So anyway, last disclaimer. Hey, thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye. Hello again. In the description I've put links relating to parts of this video, and you'll find links to supporting information and tools and some affiliate links that will support the channel if you click them. Also, if you like the video, definitely push all the buttons that help you know when another video comes out so you can check them out. And lastly, if there was a topic or a similar topic that I didn't cover in this video that you're interested in, please make a comment down below so that I can make one for you guys. Hopefully this was helpful for you, and have a great day.